Hi everybody, and welcome back to Kimbo's Comfort Kitchen. And today we're going to do a real comfort food recipe, which is chicken stew. Now this particular recipe that I've got, I've added some ham to it, and I've also added a secret ingredient at the end. But I know you can skip forward and see what the secret ingredient is, but I'm still not going to tell you. It's great comfort food, as I said. It's going to be that time of year now, and while I'm taping this. And there's a few ingredients, but as usual, it's just all about your mise en place. If you get your pieces cut ahead of time, get everything done, once it comes to cooking it all up, it really doesn't take very long. I know it looks like there's a lot of ingredients, and there are, but it's also really good for people that are on a gluten-free diet or celiac. You can switch out the flour for different types of other thickening agents like arrowroot or rice flour, things like that are gluten-free. Other than that, everything else is in there. I also add cream, which is also optional. You don't have to add the cream, but come on, you gotta have cream. You gotta have cream in your soup, in your stew. So let's get to it and get the show on the road. Okay, so let's start with the ingredients. So I've got some cubed ham. You know, you don't have to use the cubed ham, but I like it in this with the chicken and the mushrooms. It marries very nicely. You can leave that out, but I've got some fresh thyme from my garden, and I've got some peas. I've got some cat food. No, wait a minute. Cat food's for another recipe. Sorry about that. And then I've got some butter and some flour for my roux. Now, if you want to make this gluten-free, you can use other alternatives, and there are quite a few. You can get flours that are gluten-free to make your roux with, as well as rice-based. But other than that, this will be excellent for somebody who has celiac or just wants to be on a gluten-free diet. Onions, leeks, chopped garlic, and I've got some fresh chicken thighs. I use chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts because they are a lot juicier. And I'm going to dice these up and saute them off. And I've got some cream and some unsalted chicken broth and my secret recipe, which is the marsala. So this is what we're going to start with, and I'm going to prep all of this stuff, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so that's the beautiful sound of braising, and I've got some avocado oil with a little bit of butter, and I've seasoned the chicken breast, or the chicken thighs, sorry, and I do them in batches, and I haven't cooked them all the way through. I just want to get some color on them and get a little bit of braising going, and once that's done, then I'll cut them into more manageable pieces for the stew. Okay, so I've taken out the chicken, and I left all of the oil and the butter and the fat from the chicken thighs and the seasoning that was in there, and I've added the carrots and the onions and the leeks, and I've seasoned it also with a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm going to cook this down, and once this gets cooked down, we're on to the next step. Okay, so let's take a look. I've cooked off the chicken. Yes, it's pink. I know I haven't cooked it all the way through. I don't want to make it dry. Still got all the other ingredients here. I've cooked off all of the other veggies, and I've done the mushrooms separately because they have a lot of moisture in them. And right now I've got the flour cooking, and I'm going to add the butter shortly and make a roux. I'm not going to bore you with all the details on that. You can see some of my other videos on that, and in fact I may just make a video just on how to make roux properly, but let's get going. Okay, so the roux is done. This is about the thickness I wanted, and I've got all the measurements on my website. And now I'm going to just add this a little bit at a time until I get this into a nice chicken sauce, and I'll show you from there. Sorry, it's a little bit jerky. Alright, so I've added all the chicken stock in, which is unsalted. Leave that there. And now I'm going to put in my chicken, which, as you've seen, is only partially cooked. I just wanted to get some braising on the outside. And I'm putting in the ham, which I've cubed. This is a great dish after Easter. We've got leftover ham. Sorry, I don't mean to make you all dizzy. And I've got the shrooms, which I cooked off earlier because I want to get rid of all the moisture. And I got my fresh thyme, and I've got my garlic, Well, that's going in, and I've got my vegetables. And everything's seasoned, so I don't have to season anything. So now I'm simply going to mix this up and cover and cook for a bit, and I will add the cream later. Okay, so we've got this on a low simmer, and this is the finale here. I'm throwing in the peas last because I don't want them to be completely mushy, and well, they're going to be mushy anyway, but I still don't want them to have some kind of texture. Now the temp on here has been well over 150 for about 45 minutes, and now it's starting to come together. Now, this is my little secret recipe, but I'm going to put that in after. First of all, I'm going to put the cream in. And this is optional, obviously. I just like to make this into a nice creamy sauce. And so once this is all mixed in, very rich, obviously. Yes, Caesar, it's my cat. Everything's been seasoned. And now my secret recipe. Yeah, no, you can't have any. And I do this to taste. I'm going to put it in my on my site. You can see that. But I do it to taste. Caesar, what's going on? Okay, I promise not to keep beating you. No, really. We'll cut it down. So this is it all together. And I'm going to take a little taste here. Wow. Okay, that's an amazing chicken stew with ham. As I said, you can leave the ham out if you want. You can also change the flour if you've got gluten issues to make the roux. It's basically a thickener, that's all it is. But the flavor profile on this is absolutely astounding. So let's go to serve. All right, so here we are at the finish line. And I'm going to fill this up. And as you saw earlier, there's a ton here. Actually, I might just add a little bit more. It's for my mom. I don't want to be chintzy, you know. There we go. And I like to finish it off with a topping of puff pastry. So there's lots more that I'm going to freeze, which I'll show you in the next segment here. It's not a big deal. Anyway, bon appetit. Hope you enjoy this. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And we'll see you soon. Thank you. All right, so I made mums, and this is what I've got left over. So I've got 5 of these, and I've got 2 of these. These 2 large ones are great for at least 4, maybe 5 people each. And of course, these are individual ones. So, bon appetit. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks. Bye.